Managing a restaurant is not an easy job. Managing hundreds of restaurants can be even more challenging. Amid inflationary pressures and changing consumer preferences, some of the biggest fast food chains in America are struggling to stay afloat. Many are being forced to shut down dozens of restaurants as consumers become more price sensitive. Others are doing everything they can to survive in this highly competitive environment. Industry experts say this trend is expected to accelerate as consumer spending continues to slow down. They're telling the public to buckle up because 2024 could see several familiar names disappear from the dining landscape forever. Is your go-to spot on the line? You will probably find out at the end of the video. Without further ado, here are 15 fast food chains being financially eviscerated in 2024. 1. Kona Grill. Things have been difficult for Kona Grill for quite a while now. In 2019, the restaurant chain filed for bankruptcy due to a large and unmanageable debt. It was rescued by a buyer, the conglomerate One Group Hospitality. The new parent company decided to close down a significant number of underperforming locations to improve the chain's financial results. However, Kona Grill hasn't been able to reverse the negative trend. Instead, conditions have only gotten more complicated for the company this year. The restaurant franchise saw a 14% drop in customer traffic and a 9.7% drop in same-store sales during the first few months of the year, according to its latest earnings report. With about 1/4 of its locations reporting declining revenue, Kona is also facing some serious issues with its profits. Now, in an attempt to draw customers back in, One Group CEO Manny Hilario said that the chain is discounting its food and drink options to entice price-weary consumers. But inflation and stagnant wages may collide with the company's plans. 2. Starbucks. The popular coffee shop chain has been going through a pretty rough patch lately. During the latest meeting with investors, CEO Laxman Narasimhan revealed that Starbucks' performance during the first quarter of 2024 was quite disappointing. The company saw a 7% drop in same-store sales in the U.S. and a 4% decline in transactions. Moreover, after reporting its earnings results, Starbucks stock fell more than 12% in a single day. Narasimhan cited economic volatility and more hesitant spending from consumers as some of the reasons behind the bleak numbers. The coffeehouse chain also shuttered dozens of locations aiming to cut costs, but federal regulators believe at least 1/4 of such closings were conducted to prevent workers from unionizing. And now they're suing the company and demanding the stores to be reopened. 3. KFC. Fast food chain Kentucky Fried Chicken has seen better days in America. While the business is seemingly flourishing in China, conditions have been unforgiving at home. Higher costs for labor, supplies, and ingredients have taken a big dent on the chain's profits for several quarters. The most recent earnings numbers show that things have not improved. KFC's same-store sales plunged by 7%. Customer traffic fell by 5.4% during the quarter. David Gibbs, CEO of parent company Yum Brands, admitted during a May 1st call with investors that the chain has been struggling in the United States. He blamed the declines on fierce competition from rival chicken chains and slowing economic activity in the country. At the moment, Yum is working to completely reset the KFC brand and adapt to the market's changing preferences. 4. McDonald's. Not even the largest fast food chain in the world is 100% safe in the current macroeconomic scenario. According to CEO Chris Kempczinski, the burger giant has been falling out of favor with its lower-income customers. The executive revealed that consumers who earn $45,000 or less per year have been visiting the chain less often because eating at home is a more affordable choice. The same is true for middle-income customers. When they do stop at McDonald's for a meal, they are ordering fewer items and opting for cheaper options, he explained. The decline in demand has been hurting sales, which is prompting the company to come up with a contingency plan before things get any worse. After raising prices by over 10% in the past year alone and facing increasing criticism about the cost of Egg McMuffins and the hash browns, McDonald's will launch new value deals, which include meal bundles, breakfast discounts, and entry-level menu items at affordable price points in order to bring more people in. 5. Sizzler. Buffet steakhouses had their time and their place, but as the segment continues to lose popularity, Sizzler's sales are plummeting all across the country. The restaurant has been scrambling to stay afloat for years. Currently, less than 100 locations exist nationwide, with revenue losses rendering many of the few remaining locations unprofitable. 2024 may become the year their last steak is sizzled. 6. Red Lobster. The most famous seafood chain in America has filed for bankruptcy just a couple of weeks ago. In a press release announcing the filing, CEO Jonathan Tibbs cited several financial and operational challenges, such as higher food and labor costs and significant operating losses. The chain also announced that it'll close about 10% of its locations, or about 60 restaurants, by the end of the year. According to Bloomberg, Chapter 11 will allow Red Lobster to restructure its business by renegotiating its debt and getting rid of unprofitable investments. But analysts say that the bankruptcy filing was only the latest sign of trouble for the company. Owner Thai Union Group announced plans to divest from the chain in January, pointing to its prolonged negative financial contributions. CEO Thiraphong Chansir admitted in an earnings call they're not expecting to get anything much from the sale. 7. Steak and Shake. After nearly 200 closings over the past few years, Steak and Shake seems to be slowly dying before our eyes. MASH.com reports that customer traffic has been dwindling for several consecutive quarters, falling by 7.7% this year alone. Same-store sales also dropped by 5.1%, following 5 previous years of sales losses. That represents a year-over-year decline of a whopping $18.9 million in profits, which is leaving the chain at risk of going under. 8. Outback Steakhouse. Blooming Brands, the parent company of Outback Steakhouse, has announced the closure of 41 locations this year. This decision considered a variety of factors, including sales and traffic, trade areas, and the investments that would have been made to improve the restaurants, CEO Dave Dino highlighted during the company's latest earnings call. Recent numbers show that the chain's same-store sales and traffic declined both domestically and globally. In the U.S., sales went down by 4.3%, while visits at Outback Steakhouse dropped by 4% at American restaurants, forcing Outback to rethink its brick-and-mortar footprint. 9. Buffalo Wild Wings. Well, Buffalo Wild Wings has been serving food up to its game-watching guests since 1982. Unfortunately, it seems to be losing its appeal after several controversies. First, there was the court appearance over serving chicken breast disguised as boneless wings. Then, all of its Canadian locations were shut down. They had also closed most of their U.S. restaurants for underperforming and underpaying their staff. Unless there's a significant turnaround in the near future, Buffalo Wild Wings may soon be gone for good. 10. Popeyes. Popeyes has been struggling financially since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Back in 2020, when Americans were confined in their homes, Popeyes lacked drive-through lanes to keep serving its customers, and that resulted in millionaire losses that are still impacting its bottom line today. Earlier this month, another Popeyes franchisee filed for bankruptcy, following the bankruptcy of Premier Cajun Kings, which went belly up in 2023 after several challenges. RRG Inc. filed for Chapter 11 protection with the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Georgia. The owners, Mark Renner and Jane Renner, said the decision was because a few locations were dragging the rest down. They said that the restaurants had significantly lost money and caused a financial burden on the continued operation of the remaining locations, which led the franchisee to fall behind on lease payments of remaining profitable restaurants and in need to cure those arrearages to avoid lease termination. 11. Joe's Crab Shack. Seafood chain Joe's Crab Shack is only a shell of its former self. At one point, the company was publicly traded at the U.S. stock market, but now it's on the verge of disappearance, according to Restaurant Business. Rising competition and higher operational costs have led the chain to sharply reduce its size from well over 100 locations to just 30 restaurants today. Sadly, more closings are on the horizon, the report reveals. Roughly 20% of the restaurants still in operation are expected to close doors this year, including the last remaining location in New Jersey. 12. Quiznos. Everyone loves toasted subs, right? Not really. The home of the toasted sub, Quiznos is going through one of the most dramatic restaurant chain declines the industry has ever witnessed. At its peak, the fast casual chain had over 4,700 locations around the world. In 2024, only 200 of them are still open. Decades of bad business practices have contributed to its rapid downfall. On top of that, while rivals like Subway and Panera Bread have been quick to adapt to consumers' changing preferences, Quiznos continued to rely on the same old formula, failing to stay current with new trends and to implement strategies to boost its revenue. Amid lost sales and profitability issues, Quiznos has entered bankruptcy watch list again. The company has already gone bankrupt once in 2014 when it had $875 million in loan obligations. This time around, Quiznos has much smaller operations, which can make investors question whether or not the chain will be worth saving. 13. Fuddruckers. In business for more than 3 decades, Fuddruckers' days may be numbered. Despite priding itself on having the world's greatest hamburgers, customers don't seem too impressed by the chain nowadays. The fast food company has closed so many locations that it's now down to 60 spots to get a fresh bun and a grilled patty. In 2020, the company has gone bankrupt and revealed a total liquidation plan after being hit hard by the pandemic. But following several negotiations, the company decided to remain operational in some states. However, fans should probably visit their local Fuddruckers restaurants while they still can, because considering how things are going for the chain, they may not last for another year. 14. Corner Bakery. Also victimized by the repercussions of the health crisis, Corner Bakery is trying to re-emerge from bankruptcy, but current economic headwinds aren't helping it. Over the past 3 years, the cafe chain closed a quarter of its restaurants due to financial issues, and in 2024, the outlook remains uncertain. With many people now working from home, Corner Bakery is seeing its clientele shrink and sales going down. As reported by Restaurant Business, system-wide sales fell 4.3% for Corner Bakery during the first quarter. Even worse, the entire bakery cafe segment is facing a downturn, which can compromise the chain's recovery down the line. 15. Old Country Buffet. With just 13 locations remaining from its height of 600, Old Country Buffet has been on the downswing, and that's in large part due to repeated bankruptcy filings. First, there was 2008, then 2012, then 2016, Then, just when you wondered how many times one company can file for bankruptcy, there was 2021. It's unclear why they haven't pulled the plug completely yet, but experts say this could be the year. The next time you visit your favorite restaurant, things may look a little bit different. Even worse, it may be gone for good. From coffee shops to fast casual eateries, each restaurant on this list is facing unique challenges, and they're doing what they can to get ahead financially. Will they survive? Only time will tell. But if I were you, I wouldn't wait and see. Stop by and enjoy your favorite meals while it's still possible, because a few months from now, it may be too late. Thank you for watching.